All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go for heat number 1. Greg Boydell, Pops Moore on the front row, Roger Craig, Pat Boyce on the second row, John Rayner and Cale Bixler on the third row. Everybody getting stacked up and ready to go for heat 1. It is great to see this group growing, and again, if you're 55 and older on iRacing, make sure you check them out. Come join them. They have other nights at their coast-to-coast races, a lot of different nights. But the Retread boys would love to have you. It's really impressive when you consider one of their drivers is 80 years old, still out here getting it done. Folks, don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and especially YouTube. We released a bunch of YouTube shorts the last few weeks. You guys are going to love them. Hey, good evening, Jeff. I'm a little bit sooner than that one, Jeff. And here we go. Green flag is in the air. They are underway at Lernerville and already some bumping up front. Heat 1 starts off with a little bit of banging as they go off into 3 and 4. Greg Boydell, Pops Moore, Roger Craig, and Pat Boyce all right together, still fighting it out. Whoa, Pops goes to the lead for the moment. Craig slips off in 3 and 4. And Pat Boyce had a problem coming down the backstretch as well. He keeps it on track but lost some ground. And Pops Moore, no surprise, is out front. Pops has a 1.1 second lead, but Greg Boydell has the fastest lap at the moment. Pat Boyce has gone to pit road. He had another problem a moment ago. Whoa! Roger Craig got way out of shape coming out of turn 2. Holds it on track but loses second to Boydell. Boydell still has the fastest laps of the night. Keeps getting faster. But out of turn 4, Pops Moore will win heat 1. On to heat number 2. Here we go. Mayor Bixler and John Tobias on the front row. Bob Curtis and Mr. Maurer on the second row. Kelly Wheeler and Armando Melgoza on the third row. Worth noting, Mr. Maurer's nickname is actually Mr. Network Maurer. And I have to tell you, all my years in IT, the network guys are definitely extraordinarily smart and often a bit on the crazy side. I mean, I went through a lot of network training, but when I was working on my Cisco certifications, I about lost my mind. Was having dreams where I was hooking up networks in my sleep, trying to plug stuff into the headboard, and typing on my pillow. That's when I knew networking definitely was not for me. Gotta hand it to those networking guys. They definitely have a lot of information rolling around their heads. You also gotta worry, he could theoretically make everybody blink out for a lap or two and dominate. We'll see if he does, as here they come through 3 and 4. Green flag is in the air for Heat 2. Jeff, be happy to, buddy. I've helped a few. Armando Melgoza's already had a problem. He has towed it to pit road. Bixler out front. Tobias in second. Wheeler gets together. Bob Curtis slips by. Mr. Network back behind. Both of them going again, but both lost a lot of ground. Bixler, meanwhile, out front, not only leading, has the fastest lap. And here we go. Mayor Bixler's gonna win Heat 2. John Tobias coming home in second. Bob Curtis in third. Drivers get a 3-minute warm-up. As the sun begins to set, they can try and find a little bit more speed. Several of them rolling out at the moment. Pat Boyce back out. That catastrophic Heat 1 left him on pit road, but he was fastest in practice. Keep an eye on him in the feature. Greg Boydell setting the fast laps again. Our network guru also out on track, along with Heat 2 winner Mayor Bixler. And of course, a guy that has dominated all season long, Pops Moore, out getting some final laps in here. At the moment, Greg Boydell topping the board, but that is changing moment by moment as we watch drivers getting faster and faster, and some of these lap times from about second on back are extremely tight, but Pops just shot up into second. Pops having a little bit of a blink there. That boy's currently 6th fastest. I really expect to see him come through the field quickly on this one. Folks, don't forget we are off tomorrow night, but we will be streaming. We'll do something fun. I'm going to try and convince the unicorn to do something fun. We'll see how that goes. Warm-up comes to a close, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the feature event. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The feature from Lernerville, Pops Moore, Mayor Bixler have the front row. Roger Craig, John Tobias have the second row. Cale Bixler and Bob Curtis on the third row. John Rayner, Kelly Wheeler on the fourth row. Greg Boydell and Mr. Maurer round out the top 10. Pat Boyce starting in 11th. Armando Melgoza in 12th. Hey, good evening, Brian. I'm guessing you want vengeance on, I don't know, Ryan? How are you doing tonight, buddy? All right, pace car leads them out. Well, I bet that is, they don't have the truck tonight, it's the sedan, and I bet that sedan, it was a little bumpy getting down there for it. And Pops Moore is taking an EOL. He will go to the tail end of the field. Can he make it back to the front? That's going to put Roger Craig and Mayor Bixler up front. And it looks like Roger Craig's having a little bit of fun with the car. You saw him making it hop down the front stretch. This ought to be a good one. Two fast drivers coming from the back, and Pat Boyce and Pops Moore. A few new drivers in the field, and man, we are in for a show. Buckle up. Here we go. Through 3 and 4. Green flag is in the air. They are underway for the feature here at Lernerville. 3 and 4 wide through 1 and 2. Bixler right up on the cushion. He moves to the lead, and caution is out. Looks like John Rayner involved in this one. Well, let's take a look at the replay. Rayner, they're getting a little bumpy. Goes off into 3 and 4 a little high. Gets off track. Does get it rolling again, but not before Barney threw the caution. Roger Craig still out front. Bixler, well, actually it's Bixler in second and third. Mayor Bixler in second. Cale Bixler up to third. John Tobias in fourth. Bob Curtis in fifth. Pat Boyce has made his way up to 8th already. Pops Moore has only moved up 1 spot to 11th. As the lights go out on the pace car. Pace car dives to pit road. And here they come out of turn 4. Green flag flies. They're underway. Roger Craig quickly shoots out front. Oh, Mayor Bixler right on the edge through 1 and 2, back up top in 3 and 4. Pops Moore is on the attack up top. Pops just moved into 6th. Cale Bixler set the fastest lap last time by, but this time it's Mayor Bixler who's gone to 2nd. Tom Curtis has had a problem. He is out of the race. Meanwhile, a battle up for the lead. One car off track. There is chaos mid-pack. Everybody's still going. Pat Boyce has now made his way into 5th. We've got another car. Caution is out. Things got a bit chaotic there. It looks like Mayor Bixler is the one who brought the caution. Let's take a look at a few of these incidents. There's Mayor Bixler up on the high side where he's been all night. Just gets that right rear a little too far over. A few moments ago, before, Bob Curtis had a problem. Whoa! Bob went for a tumble. Yeah, Bob had a big hit, ended up upside. Nope, landed right side up, but the car broke. And he towed her in. After all that chaos, John Tobias is up front, followed by Greg Boydell. Pops Moore now up to 3rd. Pat Boyce up to 4th. These two about to put on a show. And we saw Pops flying by up top. He avoided the chaos and fought his way to the front. Could he find his way back into victory lane tonight? Let's find out. Here we go. Out of turn 4. A few guys just getting caught up. Green flag flies. Looks like they didn't get a very good stack on the restart. Tobias quickly to the lead. Pops into 2nd. Greg Boydell, Pat Boyce right behind. Kelly Wheeler now up into 6th, trying to get past Roger Craig in 5th. Whoa! Wheeler had a big send through 3 and 4, closed that gap in a big way. Cale Bixler and John Rayner right behind. Definitely not a lot of moisture in the track tonight. They are kicking. Oh, we've got one off track. Roger Craig has gone over. Looks like he is trying to recover it, but not having a lot of luck. Tobias still up front, and caution is out. Bob Curtis has another problem. Let's take a look at what happened to Bob and also what happened to Roger. There's Roger. Just looked like he got it a little too high, went over the berm, and it took him a moment to get it recovered. Bob Curtis, who had that problem earlier on, his engine let go. He doesn't get it limped far enough off track, and the caution flies. John Tobias still up front, still has the lead. Pops Moore right beside him on the outside. Greg Boydell and Pat Boyce right behind. Pace car drives back in. And here they come. Green flag back in the air. 13 to go. Pops up on the high side. Tobias still up front, but Pops has a huge run. Sends it deep. Slide job through 1 and 2. Holy cow, what a move. Tobias still fighting back on the bottom. There's a big fight right behind. 3 wide through 1 and 2 again. That boy slips up into second place. Man, what a race we are having tonight. They're fighting for every position. Mayor Bixler fighting his way back now. 9 laps to go. Bixler now back up into 7th on the move. Cale Bixler also still in the fight, currently in 4th. Pat Boyce was right on the edge through 3 and 4, trying to get as much momentum as possible. Cale Bixler also running right up on the edge through 1 and 2, trying to get past Tobias. Big risk going up on that all the way up to the edge, but big rewards if you make it work. Mayor Bixler has lost some ground. Now John Rayner closing in. Mr. Maurer, the rookie here tonight, back in 9th. Roger Craig in 10th. Armando and Bob Curtis both out early with 5 to go, and the leader is blinking. 4 laps to go for Pops Moore. And the caution is out. The caution comes out with 4 to go. Let's take a look. I think it may have been an incident with John Tobias, but let's see. There's Tobias coming out of turn 4. Oh, he got tapped from behind. It goes for a big spin into 1 and 2. Does get it, wow, gets it corrected. Takes a couple of hits there, and his engine may have let go. No, engine seems to be okay. So Pops Moore will have the lead on the final restart. Lights go out as they get lined up. And it looks like we are going to a single file restart as Devling and out Pops. Pat right behind him, though, was fastest in practice. Does he have enough left to get it done? Pace car is in. Here we go. Green flag is back in the air. 3 to go at the line. Oh, boy's got the wall on the restart. Pat slips back, but fights back on the high side. Kelly tries to get underneath. Mayor Bixler now up into the top 5, battling with Greg Boydell. Hobbs, meanwhile, way out front as he comes around. White flag flies one more time around. Hobbs has been the dominant force in the dirt, especially in the sprint cars. He's gonna do it again. Pops Moore wins at Lernerville. And talk about a comeback for Pat Boyce, coming home in second. Biggest mover of the night, up 9 spots. Kelly Wheeler moves up 5 spots to come home in third. That was one heck of a race here at Lernerville tonight, folks. Pops Moore and Pat Boyce both having to come from the back to get it done. Man, what a run, and Kelly Wheeler back on the podium. We'll get a word with the top 3 here in just a moment. And let's start with second place, Pat Boyce. Oh, no, we've got Kelly. We'll start with third. Kelly, that was some great moving, coming up 5 spots to come home in third tonight. And on that last restart, man, it was a fight right there.
Yeah, it was. It was a fight, all right. I'm surprised I finished third because I never hardly ever run these cars, and I don't really like them, but I just decided to run. So it is what it is.
Well, man, you need to run them more. You put on one heck of a show tonight. You came through a lot of chaos throughout that race, too. It seemed like everything happened just right behind you.
Hey, that's a good thing. It can keep doing it that way.
It definitely can, man. One heck of a run tonight. Is there anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I got to thank my wife for letting me do this every night. Just whenever I get ready to do it, she never complains or anything. I got to thank the guys at FTM for letting me hang out with them. I got to thank DNS Siding and Remodeling, and I also got to thank Ingersoll Rand. And I got to thank C2C for giving us a good place to race. And I got to thank you for doing all your broadcasting.
My pleasure, buddy. Great job tonight.
Thank you very much.
Pat Boyce comes home in second. Pat, you were fastest in practice. Your heat race did not go well. But, man, the feature definitely did.
Yeah, no, the heat race, it really was bad.
You definitely had some problems there, but once the feature came, you came through that field rather quickly.
I did, and I don't know. I guess it's just staying out of trouble, mostly.
Sometimes that's all it takes to get to the front. Man, when you were fastest in practice, I really, really thought you had something for Pops tonight. I don't think it's very long before you're beating him here.
I thought I could gain on him a little better than what I did. I was getting a lot of wheel spin coming off the corner, and it was getting pretty slick.
Well, it definitely looked like you weren't struggling at all, man. An awesome race tonight. Is there anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank the Malware Farm Management for putting this on, Coast to Coast Racing League, Saltic Dogs Racing Team, Young Guns Creations, and of course the broadcast and all the admins.
Great job tonight, man.
Thank you.
And finally, back on top, Pops Moore wins again. Pops, we're going to have to install a seat for you here in the booth with me. You're winning so much.
Well, it seems like it just comes to me, man. If it's there, you got to take it. And it's just, it's fun. I'm having fun.
Well, that definitely is important, but we saw at the start of the race, you took an EOL and dropped to the tail end. That looked like it might have been a devastating situation, but you and Pat just charged through the field tonight.
Yeah, and I think there at one time, Pat lifted to avoid something going on in front of him. And I thought, man, if I'm going to get by Pat, I better do it right now. And I think I squeaked by him. And then the caution came out about a half a lap later or so. But anyway, it gave me that spot. So, and otherwise, I don't know if I'd have got by Pat. He was fast tonight.
He definitely was, but I do have to say there was one time, I think you were about 7th or 8th, and we happened to see you coming through 1 and 2 way up on the high side. And I think you passed like 4 cars in one turn. That was an impressive run tonight.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to put it on the top and let her eat, see what happens. And I thought, man, if them guys, if one car bobbles down there and everybody else has to check up, well, I could go, that's how you get by, a few on the starts. But, and I knew I wasn't going to go anywhere if I followed them into the corner. So you got to go where they're not.
It definitely worked tonight, man. An awesome, awesome finish, another great win. Anybody you'd like to thank?
Just Meyer Farms. I believe they're the sponsor tonight. Thank them for sponsoring this old man's deal. And I give a shout out to Rona and Rick, my brother, and Young Guns Creations for their help and setting me up with some wraps. And just you for the broadcast and Coast to Coast for putting this stuff on. It's fun.
Oh, man, great job. Another great win. Congrats, buddy.
All right, thank you, man.
Hey, good evening, David. How are you tonight? Folks, don't go anywhere. We've got more racing to come here in just a few moments. They take the trucks to Talladega. Oh, yeah, it's going to get good. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment.